to meet you. Nice to find you well. I'm Giovanni Mannarino. I'm in charge of technology enterprise sales market into Mexedia. Mexedia is an Italian headquarter tech company, more than two. You find the route into telco, a worldwide communication company that is going to turn into a techno company. That's my mission currently, actually. And today I'm here to talk with you about what we are doing currently to move from an Omni-Channel access, Omni-Channel approach to Omni-Access approach. What does it mean? I don't know if I have my here. Is that? Yeah, that's good. Sounds good. So from Omni-Channel to Omni-Access, let me step out for backward. So in our opinion, what we are building currently about metaverse, augmented reality and virtual reality, it is every company is going to turn into connect their brand identity into an avatar that can be represented across all channels, granting the same access to the same experience, like we do in the normal environment communication between humans, I would say. So to help me to introduce you this concept and to introduce you what we are going to do, what we are presenting to the market from today, I will use two different videos that can represent same experience into different environments.
Hi, Auntie. How are you? Good, good. I just wanted to confirm that I'm going to be at lunch today. Yeah, I'm just not sure when my meeting's going to end, so I'll touch back with you later, okay? Okay, sounds good. Bye. Bye, Auntie. I almost forgot. I'm going to bring Mario today. Let me know if that's okay with you.
Good. This is our first video just to introduce our concept. So as you had the opportunity to see, we were talking about our girl, our character that is going to, let me say, book a lunch to the auntie, and she's going to change the sort of communication details about how many people will go there and how they will be present there, at what time and when. No? In a common language, we'll never define that as like an omni-channel approach. No, because we don't expect that between humans we should grant same experience across the channels. It's always granted by the fact that the other interlocutor is acknowledged, no, is the auntie. So no one is expecting to grant the same experience. But what it happens if we use the same purpose of communication in different environment?
I'd like to make a reservation for tonight at 8 p.m. for 4 people. Under the name Rosie. Perfect. Thank you so much. See you tonight. Reservation for tonight at 8 p.m. under the name Rosie. I would like to add 2 more seats if it's possible. Thank you.
So, what do, oh, sorry.
Hello everyone.
Huh.
Hi Giovanni, you are looking well. Great to be here with you at the Mobile Ecosystem Forum. So, my ideal ecosystem is...
Yeah, Chatty. Are you going to steal my stage today
No,
as well?
no, sorry.
Ah, okay.
It's your time, talk.
That's
Since I am the subject of your speech, I thought I had my space.
it. Okay,
It
bye,
will be
Chatty.
for next time.
See you next
Have a
time,
good
Chatty.
continuation then, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So, unluckily, I'm lucky to introduce to you Chatty, our white label avatar. That is Chatty. It's Mexedia white label avatar. What does it mean? In our point of view on the market currently, a conversation can last several moments and can be split in different moments, no? Every conversation. Human conversation, human to machine, machine to human, or even human to brand as well, no? It can be split in different moments, in several moments. Can go through different channels, as well as in the human communication, as well as in the brand communication. No? As we saw into the video, we can start a communication into a call, then turn into a chat or something like that, or even face-to-face. It's quite similar. What is important that it makes the difference is when a human is going to start a conversation, if he's know already who is the interlocutor or not. That is going to change the communication from an Omni-Channel, in our opinion, to an Omni-Access communication. So that means that that would change in family life, leisure time, and in brand communication is our target on the market. So it means that what we would like to propose to you today is to imagine that whenever you start to communicate or to engage, to be engaged to a brand or from a brand, let's imagine that on the other side, we already know exactly who is going to speak. Always the same entity, like a person. How it will change and impact the way you communicate with a brand. If you can be sure that the entity who is going to talk with you or to chat with you or to speak to you or to present to you in the face already know who you are and talk to you always in the same way. Will you consider it alone still an omni-channel communication? Probably not. You will turn into consider an directly communication with a no entity with a brand. This entity we're talking about, connected directly to a brand, is an avatar. An avatar is an entity that is always the same, has always the same knowledge, is always the same language, and is able to present to you across different channels. That's why we talk about Omni-Access. So it means that it will talk to you in the same way, not considering the channel you are engaging in. So, sorry, there's the... Okay. That's exactly the difference that we're going to propose to the market between Omni-Channel and Omni-Access. And that's the way in which every time we know the interlocutor, so the entity on the other part, we know and remember us. So in our opinion, the future of customer-brand interaction is Omni-Access communication. That means that, in our opinion, each brand will start to build and to present and to bring into the market a correspondence entity with the avatar representing the brand. This avatar will be able to interact with customer across every single channels, bringing the same criteria of conversation and remembering each interaction with the customer, and even remember even each source of channel of contacting of the customer. That will change into every customer will not longer need to present himself, to remember to the interlocutor who was talking before, and so on. That's it for us.
Thank you. Giovanni, any questions for Giovanni? No? I have some questions. So what are the things to consider when a company is choosing an avatar for their brand?
So, first of all, I think that the important thing is to choose the strategical communication criteria, no? Because from this moment on, the avatar will completely represent the brand all over the channels and even all over the media probably, no? It's not so far away in the future that a brand can be represented even on an interview from the avatar. And that's not related only on the metaverse as we were talking about, but you can consider that as a future representation of face-to-face communication to someone. The difference here is if the company can count to someone, then can be in more places contemporary and talking with more people contemporary. So I think that we will merge the strategical communication strategy of a brand into customer interaction. So there is the merging of these two topics will be the future probably.
I think something you've touched upon is the difference between like an avatar and just a simple brand is that it's personified. It's
Exactly.
a person.
Yeah.
And do you think this will play an important role in conversational commerce, the likes of RCS or chatbots or,
Yeah.
you know, you name it?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. For example, we had some experience with some important brands in the retail market, even in cosmetics, for example. And we started from introducing the brand avatar into internal company events for sales, for example, and now the avatar is turning into be a personal shop assistant. That's the final stage, the final pieces that we're waiting exactly for verbal and vocal e-commerce that we're waiting for, no? And probably it will be even possible that each brand will choose more avatar that will more fit different kind of audience and public as well.
So do you think that different avatars will correspond to different products or?
Yeah, that will correspond to different vertical of products, but maybe it will correspond to different kind of AI, generative AI or cognitive AI in the future, applying to like a personal shopper that will always outside you, you know, because you can meet it in the phone, like reality augmented or virtual reality or metaverse as well.
And do you think, you know, we're talking about the metaverse, so of course we have to talk about VR. Do you think that that will be a kind of valuable tool in a marketer's toolkit for, you know, speaking to consumers? Yeah,
currently we are already talking with the many hardware vendors on the hardware side of VR, because it's clear that the software technology, the appliance technology is more far away from, is more ahead than the hardware currently. That's why we offer different stage of approach to the metaverse through avatar representing the augmented reality and the virtual reality, stepping through, waiting for more good hardware into the VR, and all of this hardware needs to improve the experience into in the metaverse as well.
Can you explain the difference, just in case anyone doesn't know, between augmented reality and virtual reality?
Yeah, augmented reality is something that, for example, with my smartphone currently, I can, like, maybe you had some experience with IKEA or something like that, no? Moving your mobile phone, you can have a virtual object into real object. So it's a matter of move the reality into an augmented dimension. And the virtual reality is something more immersive in which you put yourself into a completely virtual environment in which you can have many tools and experience grants.
And so, I mean, just speaking about AI, it seems apparent that AI really is the real foundation for all of this. Where do you kind of think we are in terms of AI? Are we at the, you know, with the explosion of chatbot, is this like late stage AI? Are we AI, or is this just the beginning?
No, that's a really good question. I think that we are really more ahead than we can imagine, as the tests we are doing is proving. What currently we worked and we are getting in place is an AI dispatcher. That is quite important because, you know, granting the right experience to the right persons in the right market, it means that not every time you should use a generative AI really of the last version, but even because you should level up the resources that you put in place for the same experience or even for the spending of the customer. No? We are on the market with our AI dispatcher that can understand what exactly you are going to ask for and what you should bring back, and we are going to select the proper AI dynamically into the interaction that you need for.
Okay, that's so sort of predictive really
it's
is
exactly
the key.
Predictive AI dispatcher like we do in the phone call, for example, for outbound like that. is quite similar into the AI
Yeah.
choosing for technology.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the direction AI has gone, where it's just really good at predicting based on language. So you might as well use that to predict what your customer is, going to want, essentially.
If you see, we were talking about ongoing experience. The dispatcher has to be dynamic on an ongoing experience. So if the customer or whatever is going to talk with our AI is going to change the experience request, so the predictive AI dispatcher should choose and move across different kind of resources that are available for
So
that
yeah,
interaction.
I think that something you found to emphasize is it's really important to build a relationship with the customer, obviously so that they have a relationship with you, but at the same time, you'll have this data to work off.
Yeah.
What are the challenges in kind of storing that kind of data, keeping it protected and safe, or what is the sort of regulatory situation?
Of course, we are a European player currently. Even if we have different legal identity across the world, but we strongly are focused currently on the launching on the European market, who probably has the stronger regulation about privacy and data access. So what is important to say that we are completely compliant to the GDPR process. We are self-assess all the resources. What is important is to access dynamically the data as soon as the customer is requiring for. So it's important to not access every data for a non-usable experience currently, but to track and to prove every time that you are access some portion of data whenever you are going to need it and not before. That's why we are going to use kind of new not so new technology like Elasticsearch and so on that are more useful into approach, dynamical data approach and data auditing tracking. That is what our daily business unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, and obviously you showed some use cases with the video. Can you tell us about any of the wilder use cases or weirder use cases that you currently have going, or?
The weird. So currently we are working into the sports avatar building for some of important brands worldwide in the soccer players, for example. And what is quite difficult that we are facing, but it's more solved that we are working B2B2B in this approach. No? For example, our main brand has some main sponsor in the retail market we asked to present different avatars in different retail shops and corners according to the different sponsors they have. So that means that we have a software deployer of different avatars across geographically placement. No? And this is quite weird because every time maybe it happens that from a corner to another corner we have 1 meter in which our observer user is going to jump from potato sticks from a car. No, there is something weird that sometimes we are going to reach something, but luckily for us, it's going really to be a robust solution that is working properly.
Yeah, one thing that popped into my head was, do you see like the government using this, or like a municipality? Could the government have a sort of?
To tell the truth, as soon as the digital identity will be really strong enough, I think that will be really the future of public administration inquiring for public certification and public procedure that you should active or not. Mm-hmm. Because you can imagine that if, for example, legal institution has a front office like that is certified about identity and transaction, maybe using many different kinds of certification of the process, that will be really probably the future. Yep. But it's more connected to the legal digital identity.
Okay. And I know this is a kind of a tough question and a very broad question, but where do you see the state of the metaverse going? Like, let's say even in 10 years. And I know metaverse really encompasses so many different things. It's almost hard to say metaverse because someone might think you mean something else. So if you could specify, what you're talking about.
Here with me, I have my CTO that every time remember me that the metaverse does not exist. That's quite important. So currently the limit are mainly two. The hardware access, that this kind of helmet are quite not so easy to use, really expensive, so impacting the life. As soon as a big hardware vendor will introduce more innovative resources, that will be changed the market for sure. But the second step of market change will be when each metaverse will be able to communicate with a standard protocol with other metaverse. That will be completely change the market, I would say.
Would it be decentralized?
That's the matter currently. Who will certify the protocol who is going to exchange such kind of important data and interaction. That's the currently that the global scientists are talking about. That's it.
And are there any implications on what you've talked about here for gaming?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. We have on betting, on gambling, we have a lot. To tell the truth, is the vertical market who is driving mostly this kind of changement because it's granting more interactive experience. So as you can imagine, this kind of market is really driving this kind of change. So, by the way, anyone in the audience would like to see what we already did, our use case, or if everyone would like to try his own brand avatar in almost half an hour, you can get in touch with us in the upcoming weeks. We can grant you this experience, of course.
Great. Brand avatars. Any last questions? No, I think people need a coffee right now, so
No, sure,
we're going to go for a quick coffee break upstairs. Thank you so much. There's still more sessions, 3 more panels, and stick around because we'll have drinks later on.
Yes, later on at 6. And I'd like to thanks again, Giovanni from Mexedia. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Let's do it.